Welcome to Maths Lesson 45, Fractions and Rounding. Convert these decimals to mixed number fractions. Convert these decimals to mixed number fractions. Can you remember what a mixed number fraction is? A mixed number fraction is one that has whole numbers as well as a fraction. So 2.8 will become 2 8/10. If you simplify it, it becomes 2 4/5. Think about your columns. 2.8. Which column is the 8 in? The 8 is in the tenths column. That's why it's 2 8/10. You then need to remember to simplify. You can only simplify the fraction, not the whole number. What can you divide 8 and 10 both by? You can divide 8 and 10, you can divide them both by 2. How many 2's in 8? 4. How many 2's in 10? 5. So 2 8/10 is simplified to 2 4/5. We need to do the same each time. Find the answer as a mixed number fraction and then simplify. So 3.6 becomes 3.6 becomes 3 6/10. Simplified, 3 3/5. 1.8. 1.8 as a mixed number fraction is 1 8/10. Simplified, 1 4/5. 12.3. 12.3 as a mixed number fraction is 12 3/10. 3/10 cannot be simplified. The only number that divides into 3 and 10 is a 1, so it cannot be simplified. 7.9. 7.9 as a mixed number fraction is 7 and 9/10. 9/10 cannot be simplified. Fourteen point one. 14.1 as a mixed number fraction is 14 and 1/10. Which one is the biggest? Is 7.2 bigger or smaller than 7 and 3/10? 7.2 or 7 and 3/10? Which is the biggest? Seven 7.2 is smaller than 7 and 3/10. 11.5 or 11 and 2/3. Which is the biggest? 11.5 or 11 and 2/3. $11.5 is smaller than 11 and 2/3. 4.3 or 4 and 1/10. Which one is the biggest? $4.3 is bigger than 4 and 1/10. Which one is the smallest? Choose one in each row. 0.75, 0.9, 0.22, 0.08, 0.83. Which one is the smallest? The smallest is 0.08. One-fifth, 1/8, 1/3, 1/12, 1/10. Which one is the smallest? The smallest is 1/12. Remember, if you cut a cake into 3 pieces, you get 1/3. If you cut the same cake into 12 pieces, you get 1/12. Which is the biggest piece? That's right. So 1/12 is the smallest. Three-tenths, 0.25, 0.4, 7/10 and 0.5. Which one is the smallest? The smallest is 0.25. Now stop the video and go to test 45A. Don't forget to come back to me when you have completed it. Round to the nearest 100. (136) to the nearest 100 is 100. 491. Round to the nearest 100. 500. 589. Round to the nearest 100. 600. 317. Round to the nearest 100. 300. 2165. Round to the nearest 100. 2200. Now round to the nearest 10. 94 rounded to the nearest 10 is 90. 71 rounded to the nearest 10 70. 312 rounded to the nearest 10 310. 2415. Rounded to the nearest 10 2420. 686. Rounded to the nearest 10 690. Go to test 45b. Convert these fractions to decimals. 5 1/4 as a decimal. Five and a quarter as a decimal will be 5.25. Three and 3/10. Three and 3/10 as a decimal will be 3.3. Six and 8/100. Six and 8/100 as a decimal will be 6.08. Seven and 17/100. As a decimal, this will be 7.17. Remember, when you are converting fractions and decimals, think about your number columns. Tens and units, then after the decimal point, tenths and 100ths. Remember these. You are ready to take your maths test. Go to Maths, Test 45. Good luck!